On reports of an armed militia that was reportedly going after FEMA workers on the ground.
The threat was enough for FEMA to cancel meetings over the weekend for those needing help, but it also resulted in an arrest after law enforcement says someone was actually found with a gun and rifle.
Derek Dillinger is getting answers tonight.
Caldwell County is one of the counties that was hit by Helene, and it's been getting some help from FEMA. But they say they've been having to deal with some misinformation, including a credible threat in Western North Carolina of a man who allegedly wanted to harm FEMA workers. Here's what we can tell you about what happened. The report of that arrest comes out of Rutherford County, which is in the area where Lake Lure and Chimney Rock are. You may have seen some of these devastating pictures coming out of all the damage there. Deputies there say Saturday afternoon they got a call from someone saying that a man, later identified as William Jacob Parsons, had an assault rifle and had made comments about possibly harming FEMA employees working out in that area. Deputies were able to get more of a description and later tracked down Parsons. Deputies say he had guns on him. The incident was enough for FEMA to take a step back on the response efforts, mainly because of worries of safety. The initial reporting on this indicated there was a potential militia out there targeting FEMA workers, but deputies now say that was unfounded. The head of FEMA was visiting some staff today here in the area. We had a chance to talk with her about the safety concerns in light of what happened over the weekend.
Any threats to anybody, especially when we're faced with a situation where people have such great need, is really hurtful, and it just detracts from the ability to make sure that we are meeting people where they are. I got a report of a credible threat to our staff, and so I immediately took action to pull our team from the field until we could validate what that was. Only one part of our mission did we.
Were forced to be temporarily halted in North Carolina after the agency said it received several reports of threats being made against their teams on the ground. In one county, FEMA workers had to stop work after National Guard troops reported seeing armed militia threatening them nearby. CNN's Isabel Rosales has the latest on this. What's happening here?
Okay, good morning. Certainly a very serious situation that has actually forced FEMA workers out of an abundance of caution to work out of secure locations instead of going door to door to those deeply impacted areas of Western North Carolina to get people the help that they need. This was first reported on by the Washington Post, stating that National Guard troops witnessed armed militia making threats against FEMA workers. Now, of course, we don't know if that threat is credible. We have put out a call to FEMA to try to get more information about that, but we've had two communities that have been impacted by these threats. That's Ashe and Rutherford counties, with the sheriff of Ashe County saying this. He urged residents to, quote, stay calm and steady during our recovery to help folks, and please don't stir the pot. And of course, Kate, this comes amid a backdrop of misinformation that has been circulating about the federal response to Milton and Helene. This has deeply upsetted many local officials that I've spoken with, not just in North Carolina, but Florida too, because this is taking up the resources that could be used toward recovery. And instead they're online on social media telling people, hey, this is false information. Don't believe this. So this is taking up a lot of their time. Also forcing FEMA to actually open up a section of their website called the Hurricane Rumor Response section to, again, try to bat down all of this misinformation, Kate.
And Isabel, you were in Florida last week covering the Hurricane Milton for us. What are you hearing in terms of the latest recovery efforts there?
I applied to over 200 tech jobs and got rejected from every single one of them. And then
Yeah, it's a long task ahead for recovery in Florida, specifically because they're still dealing with all of this flooding. There's flooding warnings for major rivers, Hillsborough River. You also have other rivers there that have been flooding. We've seen the recovery happening around the area, with Sheriff Shad Chronister saying that unfortunately the waters are not receding as much as they would like. This is leading to a lot of deputies trying to help out people there. Then you've got fuel. You've got hard-hit areas like Tampa and St. Petersburg seeing 3/4 of gas stations without fuel, to the point that the state is stepping in, leading escorts of the fuel tankers, and also opening up fueling stations where people can get up to 10 gallons of fuel for free to try to help them turn the page on this. We also have some sound on this. Let's listen.
pushing back hard just this hour against comments made by Donald Trump when asked if he expects chaos on Election Day, maybe from people on a terrorist watch list or migrants who have committed crimes. Take a listen.
I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
NBC's Ali Rafa is reporting from D.C., and I'm joined by MSNBC senior political analyst Matthew Dowd once again. So, Ali, we just heard from Tim Walz in Wisconsin. What did he say in response to Donald Trump's comments there?
Yeah, Chris, that's right. We just heard from Vice President Harris's running mate, Governor Tim Walz, who's campaigning in battleground Wisconsin, specifically in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, with Senators Klobuchar and Baldwin. And he was speaking to a group of students when he reacted to those comments from former President Trump on Fox yesterday, when he called for the military to be used against American citizens, claiming that, quote, the enemy from within the U.S. is more dangerous than foreign adversaries like China and Russia. The Governor Walz saying that the former president, quote, crossed a line. Listen to his comments here.
He crossed a line that I have to tell you, in my lifetime, I would have never imagined, because we know our history. Donald Trump over the weekend was talking about using the U.S. Army against people who disagree with him. Just so you're clear about that, that's you. That's what he's talking about. This is not some mythical thing out there. He called it the enemy within. And to Donald Trump, anybody who doesn't agree with him is the enemy. I tell you that not to make you fearful or anything. I tell you that because we need to whip his butt and put this guy behind us.